everyone. Welcome back to the Daily Dive. Today on the show, we're chatting with John Ryan from Spruce Ridge Resources. Hey, John, welcome back to the Dive.
Thanks for having me. It's a nice time to have a little chat because of our success that we news released last week. But thank you very much.
So as you mentioned, Spruce Ridge recently announced some pretty large assay results. Can you give us some color on the assays and what this means for the company moving forward?
Well, number one, it puts us on the map as far as our stock price started to go up, and now we hit 14, 15, 16 cents, which is nice to see. But the results, they're phenomenal results. These are results that this property has never seen in its history, and it's got about a 40, 50-year history. So, the first two, we did 22 holes on this drill program, the 2020 drill program. It's all holes hit mineralization, but these two, because we had these two holes rushed, the assays were rushed, which means we got them within 5 days. It's because there was just massive sulfides, and with copper you can see it. The guys on the drill, the guys in the field, they see it right away and they know it's mineralized. Again, when we got the results, here you've got 27 meters of 8% copper. It's a huge number. And then you've got another hole, which was 108. So we've got drill hole 20-05 that's the 27 meters at 8%. And then you've got 187 meters to the north. It's probably northwest. And you've got GB20, and it was 6.89% over 22.7 meters. So again, these were phenomenal numbers, just phenomenal. And it tells us that this deposit it's got potential to be quite large.
Can you speak to the strategy of the drill program based on the 2020 drilling?
So the 2020 drilling, it was based on what we did in 2018, where we drilled in between gaps that hadn't been drilled before. The 2020 program was going to do the same thing. We were drilling in between the gaps between the 60-meter grid lines that were done back in the 70s or 80s. And then we've got a few test holes that we're going to drill exactly where they were drilled in 40 years ago. And we're going to compare the assays from 40 years ago to the ones we get today. And we're going to I think we'll find that the potential to increase this resource is significant, because back in the 40 years ago, they used a small core. I think it was an EX type drill. And a lot of the sulfides probably stayed in the hole, or they were flushed out with the water. And so when the actual core came to surface and they assayed it, they're not assaying the whole amount. In today's drilling, you've got larger core, and it retains its size. And when you send that to the lab, they're getting the whole piece. They're getting that chunk, and you shouldn't have sulfide loss. So that's the test. So we figure by the end of January, all the results will be in. And but again, these high assays that we got, these first two holes that were put on a rush, it's just phenomenal. We never expected it. We thought we'd get good numbers. We never thought we'd get these types of lengths and grades.
As a result of the high grades, are you seeing any increased interest in the area?
Yeah, so it was we had our annual meeting yesterday, and we had a call in, and somebody asked about the land position and whether anybody was staking around us. And then, of course, I looked it up, and sure enough, there's a lot of staking been going on around us, and it just happened in the last week.
Spruce Ridge trades above its net asset value, in large part thanks to Canada Nickel Corporation's large shares. Can you speak to what Spruce Ridge intends to do with these shares?
Okay, I get a lot of questions about that. So again, when we sold the nickel property and we did the negotiations, the intention by Spruce was to dividend out 5 million shares of Canada Nickel. Now, because they were under escrow, we didn't have the 5 million shares to distribute. But as of August of this year, we got another 1.5 million to the million that we got in February. Now we had the 2.5 million that allowed us to do a distribution, which we did. And we did that distribution in September. Now, we get another distribution in February of 2021 and another one in August. So every 6 months, we get 1.5 million shares. So if we were to do a distribution, it wouldn't be until August of next year, and it certainly would be considered.
We were talking offline, and you've had tremendous success investing in junior mining. What are your rules for finding a project to invest in?
Well, I don't know. I don't think I have any rules. Sometimes it's just, yeah, it's, I mean, I've been investing for over, gosh, I'm going to tell people how old I am. But anyways, I mean, I worked for Rio Algom back in 1976 to 1980. And I was an internal audit, and we were doing, I mean, Rio Algom was quite a large company, and it was into all kinds of, exploration. And we audited the different divisions within Rio Algom, and that got me into oh geez, you guys are finding gold, you're finding this, you're finding that. So I started buying penny stocks, and of course my best winner to date was, I mean, I was one of the early investors in Bre-X, where and again, I invested in Bre-X because they were looking for diamonds in the Northwest Territories. So this is going back to 92, I think 93. And then, of course, we all know what happened. They went to Indonesia, and the stock started to fly. Nobody thought it was a scam or anything. And of course, I kept riding. And I think the highest price I got for some of my shares was $250. So that was the big winner for me. And it's too bad I didn't sell all of the shares that I had But anyways, it's because, I mean, then of course, when the trouble happened, the guy fell out of the helicopter. Well, then you knew something was wrong. So, but anyways, that was my big one. And I've had a lot of big winners like Noront. I've had Western Goldfields. So there's quite a number I've had, but a lot of this was, I was connected to an investment banker in Toronto, and I got involved in doing private placements. And then, with the private placements, you get the warrants. And sometimes these stocks took off. And when they took off, well, I did very well. But but again, there's a lot of crap that I bought too, and they did nothing.
So, John, what are your thoughts on gold and copper going into the new year?
Well, I like where copper is at 350. And I think there's some tremendous upside for the price of copper. And I think Spruce is in a great position. I mean, the idea is for us to increase the resource as much as we can, and get some interest from, maybe not the big boys, but maybe mid-tier type of companies that are looking for a nice copper asset, and which we have. And it's in Newfoundland, which is a great mining district. So there's that, and the price of gold, again, it's 2,000 or on, plus or minus. I like the price of gold. We don't really have much gold where we are, but I will say that on the property that we have at Great Burnt, there is a 2-meter section, 2 kilometers length of mineralization, of historical mineralization for gold, and we're building a trail road to take us from Great Burnt up to this deposit, not a deposit, but up to this anomaly, let's say, or this zone. And we're hoping to drill that next year. So, yeah, there will be a gold play for us next year as well.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on the show today, John.
Well, thanks for having me again, and Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year to you too. And to our viewers at home, don't forget to click that subscribe bell below, and we will see you next year on The Dive.